every day we get a little bit more information. It just kind of drips out of of the divide that really exists between the value that a college degree delivers and what businesses are looking for. It is a constant drip, 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 right? That's going on that they're less and less relevant. And again, just as the business cycle has been changing over the last, I'd say at least last 5 years, it has dramatically changed, but also, frankly, just speaks more to how colleges aren't keeping up with what businesses actually need. And same thing, businesses, they are having to rapidly change what they need in order to even keep up in this, again, AI and everything that's going on, right? Tariff world, you name it, things are constantly changed. Let's just say in the current environment where change is the norm versus stability, which had been the case for, almost 15 years. So we're going to look at an article today from Your Tango, specifically highlighting some of the things that hiring managers are looking for here. And it's just something I want you all to keep in mind, that it is, as somebody who is looking for work, it's very important that you understand what businesses are looking for and don't assume that your degree is what they're looking for, or anything that matter, your perceptions. Remember, you're trying to get them to hire you. So you've got to make sure you're aware of what they have there. Okay. So with that, my name is Ryan Howe. I'm a business coach who works out of West Michigan and around the country. I come here consistently every single day here on YouTube, sharing information I share with my clients, and I hope to earn your subscription today. So let's get into it here. This is from Your Tango. Link is in the description. Be sure to go check it out somewhere down there. A survey shows hiring managers believe these two things are more valuable in job candidates than a degree. And I've been saying, by the way, I've been saying this for a while, is with my, we're going almost 15 years now where I have been talking with folks about this in and around the businesses that I've been associated with, that we're looking for competence and character. Like, give me those two things first, and we can normally work around that. And they're going to talk about some of that stuff in here, but we got some other aspects that I just want to make sure folks are aware of, that this is what they are looking at. And it comes from experience that these businesses are seeing in the feedback from operations on what they need, what operations needs in order to be successful. Okay. That's what they're getting at here. Now, this is from Mary Faith Martinez. Now, recently, there has been much debate regarding the importance of college degrees. With the outrageous costs of higher education and the ever-evolving job market, many people are questioning whether receiving a college degree is as necessary as it once was. And according to a new survey, even hiring managers are prioritizing certain skills over degrees. And this has been moving this way steadily and steadily. I remember when we first started doing it in a company I was with, over a decade ago. And it was blasphemous to say, what do you mean you're removing the degree requirement? We did, and amazing things happened. We've still found plenty of competent folks who are great. We just removed the requirement, and it wasn't an issue. We rewrote our job descriptions in a certain way, and I cover that in other videos. But at the end of the day, this is over a decade ago we started doing this. Now, a new survey found that hiring managers believe these two things are more valuable than a degree. Right, we talked about that. So this is a resume template surveyed 1,000 hiring managers in the U.S. to understand how valuable degrees were. They learned one of our companies will soon stop requiring a bachelor's degree for some roles. I am of the mindset you should have as many degrees removed from a requirement for your jobs as possible. I cannot overstate that. I really think that it's more about how you write your job description and your job ads. That will help you filter people, the right people to you, better than just paying, here's a bachelor's degree. Because it's just my opinion that it doesn't work. It brings it sends a wrong signal. I'll put that much. All right. Now, relatedly, 42% of hiring managers surveyed said that Gen Zers should develop their work experience and focus on practical skills rather than earning a bachelor's degree. When choosing between a Gen Z candidate with strong soft skills but no degree, and one with a weak degree but weak soft skills, 53% candidates prefer the one without a degree. Now, okay, hold on. And 24% chose the degree holder, and 23% both are equally strong. So, and I think that's an important, okay, we'll come back to the article here in a second. Now, when I'm talking with my clients about this, that is absolutely what you want to do. You want to be able to have that conversation about, okay, here's the degree, depending on the work is, and here's the soft skill side of it, and then also the experience. Like, what have they done during this time, right? And it's in that understanding that the with what colleges are doing, they're providing a base level of understanding, but a lot of these young men and women that are graduating, they started their schooling 4 years ago. The requirements that are now versus 4 years ago are dramatically different than it's changed. So does the degree still have the same level of value? I'm not as certain. Additionally, the way but for the soft skills side, if you're able to show that you've worked in positions to where you've been a team member and you've been able to do the things, hey, I may be more willing to bring you in and then train you on what you want to have, which is a best practice that I have with my clients. We are training environments. And again, and part of the deal that we do training environments within the businesses that I work with is it actually builds value for those businesses. So when the business owner is looking to sell, that is how well can you train and develop your own people increases your multiplier, what buyers are willing to look at. And if you'd like to learn more about possibly how to make your business better, go to link down in the description or their value builder there. You'll see it's a 13-minute survey. You can go fill it out and let you kind of know where your business is at. All right, so let's get back into this here. Now, additional things we need to look at here. Specifically, hiring managers want younger candidates with soft skill and AI experience. I will say this I've been yelling this from the mountaintops. Everyone should be spending 30 minutes a day learning large language models. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your degree is in. I don't care where you work at. 30 minutes a day. Just go on Claude, go on Chat GPT, go on whatever, and just spend some time asking it questions. Learn about it, and it is not going to be a disservice. I promise you that. Now, Investopedia's Will Kenton defined soft skills as character traits and interpersonal skills that characterize a person's ability to interact effectively with others. Are you a jerk or not? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Are you a jerk or not? Can you play well with others? As for artificial intelligence, 35% of hiring managers said that developing AI skills was more important than getting a college degree. 27% were neutral and 28% disagreed. And the 28% that disagreed, I would like to know what type of work they're in, because that's silly. I mean, I just put it that's silly. I work with professionals in all sorts of areas. You name the different industries. And these professionals, they spend all of their time on these large language models in order to get better at the job that they do. Their experience plus the large language models are what makes them valuable. The degree, a lot of it's a gateway to get into certain jobs. I get that. But no one in business is devaluing the importance of understanding these large language models. Okay. Now, this could be welcome news for people who are wary of investing in college. Education data says it's like $38,000 a year to go to college. You don't look like this when you are spending $38,000 a year in college. Right here, that's not you. That's not going to be you. Okay. Now, the difference on this is the other side here is that the difference were quite different for Generation X job candidates. All right. For those Gen Xers that are out there, the focus was not on soft skills or AI ability. Instead, hiring managers look carefully at company culture. When asked to choose between a Gen X candidate without a degree who fits the company culture and one with a degree who doesn't, 79% choose the candidate who fits the culture. Again, culture and competence. I've talked about that. And only 11% on the degree holder. And of course, they want to get into more of the AI stuff. So this is what I want you to remember on this. Okay. So we're talking about competence and culture. And this is what I'm talking with my clients about pretty much every time we meet. This has never not come up. I can't even imagine a time last it hasn't. Anyways, when we are constantly measuring people, right, in their day-to-day operations, are they a culture fit? And then on the bottom here, how are they on their productivity, right? How well are they doing, performing, competence? We want people to have a good culture fit first. If you can get the culture fit right, you can tend to train them to do the work that you need to be productive in whatever way that looks. Not everybody can make the leap, and that's fine. You help them on to their next adventure. But if you get the culture fit right, they are not going to be damaging to the rest of the organization, at least from a personality side of it. Okay. And that is really what I'm talking to my companies about that I work with. So, hey, let's get this right. Let's make sure we're hiring for culture and competence. We can figure out the rest later, either through training or whatnot. Okay. But there's another aspect to this too, which again, I just want to go back and highlight is that for you, those of you who are employees that are looking for work, keep this in mind. Your degree, if they're looking for a degree, right? Simply, I mean, yeah, okay, we need a degree. They're going to look to see how well you play with others, how well do you fit what they need in that organization. So if you're an employee who's going to be doing the job searching and going for interviews, yeah, you want to make sure that you are not only do you talk about again learning from others, helping others, figuring out how to working as a team, at the same time, obviously mastering your craft. You want to make sure that that is you follow through with that when you go to work for them. Okay, like that's the other side of it. For these young graduates that are getting here, I listen. I've talked about it at length on this before. It's just so frustrating, and it's my fault. Everyone who's my age and older, it's our fault. I take responsibility for this. You were sold a bill of goods. You were said, go get a college degree and there'll be a job waiting for you on the outside. And then it's they're evaporating all over the place. And again, you were given some bad advice. That doesn't mean that all is lost. It simply just means that you need to adjust. And that's a big part of what it is when you're out here in, you know, they don't tell you about it in the adult world. It's just always drive me nuts that this is something you have to learn through experience. You rarely end up working in the job you went to school for. And there's a very high probability the job you went to school for is going to change or be eliminated, and it's going to force your hand to go into something else. So spending money on something that isn't a trade, mind you, is one of you need to understand that it's a very limited time offer, and it sucks, and I hate it because the degrees that I've gotten over time have not followed through with that. I've been in that boat. I've had to make some adjustments. Like you're saying, I ended up, I'm one of the rare exceptions. Like my master's degree, I didn't end up doing that. It's in logistics and supply chain management. But my bachelor's degree is in occupational education. I went to school to learn how to, teach companies how to train, how to build. And that's a big part of what I do with my companies now that I work with. So, all right. So anyways, that's where we're at, folks. I mean, TLDR, I mean, I know it's already on the back end here, but made it this far. Here's the deal. Hiring managers right now are trying to hire people that are not going to rock the boat. That is what they're looking for. They will, if you are not going to rock the boat, you're going to come in and do work and be willing to be trained in the way they want you to be trained. You are going to be very successful, again, going forward in your career. But right now, that's who they're looking for. They couldn't care less about your degree. It is not the primary thing they're looking for. And the more that you can focus on, hey, I'm going to be a team player, I'm going to do the work, I'm going to do the thing, the more successful you will be going forward. All right. So again, for anyone who's made it this far, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Hopefully I earned your subscription today. Again, if you'd like to learn more about how I help companies grow faster than I ever thought possible, build companies that have value, that are appreciated by the employees, the stakeholders, and the community, go ahead and reach out to me at summitbusinessguys.com. You can learn a little bit more about what I do there.